I think there's a whole new day starting. I think, I used to use, and I still use, drain the swamp. We have some very, very bad people in government that would be willing to do very bad things and for bad reasons.
So that was President Donald Trump on Sean Hannity having basically doing a hilarious self-own. So now he was talking about, of course, the Mueller investigation. There are people in government. They're doing bad things. They're doing bad things against me for bad reasons, right? That kind of sounds like someone I know. Someone who's president of the United States. Now, this irony did not go unaddressed on social media. And I want to give you some of these tweets, which are awesome. Pete Souza says, finally, he speaks the truth about himself. Daniel Dale says, the president, we have some very bad people in government that would be willing to do bad things for very bad reasons. And that's, of course, his exact quote. And yeah, he's not wrong at all. He's just explained himself. Dan Shapiro says, finally, some self-awareness. Will Bunch said, occasionally Trump stumbles into a true thing. Cruel Angel's dissertation says, to be fair, he's not wrong. He's not wrong for once. Bin Raccoon says, projection still working. Kelly Burke said, projection extraordinaire. And of course, Paul W.E. says, king of projection. I think we got the memo here. Now, here's the thing. This comes after basically Trump railing against the Mueller investigation. Now, watching a lot of that interview, Trump continued to talk about performance, right? He performed very poorly. Robert Mueller did. Performed very poorly. And all the pundits and everybody was talking about it, and we've never seen anything like this before. Well, okay, so you're talking about performance, right? What is this, a TV show? Well, when it comes to Donald Trump, it is. Everything is like a TV show. Everything has to do with ratings. Everything has to do with appearance. And look, if you looked at that, and if that's the only thing that you looked at during the entire Mueller hearings, you'd be like, oh, man, Mueller, sure, he was off his game, boy. Stumbling and saying, oh, I didn't read this. I didn't know what this was. But remember, the Justice Department said you can only talk strictly about the report. You can't speculate on anything else. You can't talk about anything else. There are other investigations that are going on. So here's your guidelines. So a lot of what the Republicans did is they set up a lot of, I wouldn't say traps, but they did set up a lot of barriers, right, of things that Mueller couldn't talk about. And so that's part of that. And the other part was the absolute outlandish claims made by a lot of these Republicans. Jim Jordan, of course, one of them, Louis Gohmert. I mean, it was just the normal cast of characters from this clown show of the Republican Party that were bringing up ridiculous conspiracy theories. And so when you talk about bad people in government doing bad things for bad reasons, it's not just Donald Trump. It's also the people who enable him. And so, again, you've got these congressmen that did not address obstruction at all, because that's what this was about. The report said we couldn't find evidence of criminal conspiracy. Now, they didn't mention collusion. They didn't talk about that at all in the report. They said we don't have enough evidence to prove a criminal conspiracy, but we do have a lot of evidence of obstruction of justice. And did the people talk about that at all? Democrats did. They focused on that, and that was good. But Republicans did not. And all Trump could focus on is, well, I mean, it's a witch hunt, bad people, and by the way, Robert Mueller, bad performance. Ridiculous. But hey, that's all that Donald Trump cares about is appearances, and by all appearances to him, he won. It's time that we show him that he didn't win. It's time that we get the Democrats to actually do their job and impeach President Trump. He is a criminal. And Nancy Pelosi, do your job and hold this criminal accountable. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know how I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent progressive media.